what we're really focused on here today is SEO. So who knows what SEO actually is? Yell it out for me. Go for it. What is it?
Search engine optimization.
Yes, thank you. You're good at listening and understanding. And we have a nice little pop-up banner at the back there. So we're a little bit different to your standard website design company in that we want to really focus on that SEO component. Websites are really great as a foundation, but if they're not set up right from the beginning, you'll find out why there's so many little intricacies to SEO. So let's do it. So, search engine optimization. Everyone gets a gold star. It's a process to optimize your website. So again, we want to make it the best it can possibly be. And the content needs to be relevant. There's no point putting up information about a cleaning business if you're about lighting and design. It's just not going to resonate with the person reading the information. And we would need to be found. Do you know the actual number of websites on the internet nowadays?
About 750 million websites.
There's a lot of websites out there. So your little business, we want to make sure that that gets seen by your ideal client. And that's where the ranking comes in. There's a lot of acronyms in what we do. We want to bring you up in the SERPs. What are the
Search
SERPs?
engine result pages.
Did everybody hear that? One more
Search
time.
engine result pages.
Thanks, Nick. Next slide. So there's 4 types of SEO, search engine optimization, which a lot of people don't actually realise, but it's that keyword research. So again, we're typing in lighting designer Brisbane, we're going to find you. We're typing in graphic designer Brisbane or New Farm, we're SEO New Farm, we want to be able to find us. So that's your keyword research. We have lots of magical tools that we use in our personal business that are actually paid tools. So they dig a lot deeper than your general Google search analytics, which are predominantly based around paid ads. So if there's people in your industry paying for ads and you're using the Google words, that's just the paid stuff. So what we use is other tools that dig deeper into what Google and all of the other search engines are actually looking at. We get statistics on what numbers of people are searching for things each month, if the rankings of people searching are going up and down, and again, the difficulty scores and things like that. So a lot of detail. If we sit down and ever do a one-on-one, you'll probably see some of that as well. So, on-page SEO, quite a lot of detail. Again, if you get a graphic designer or someone having a look at your website, they love to put a lot of pretty stuff and make it look awesome for you, which is great. And then we also need to have things like your phone number, which sounds really basic, but amazing how many websites you cannot find a phone number on. Just start to think about it now when you start looking at people's websites. How do I contact this person? I love their product. So that's just one little area on page. Off page SEO brings you to other things like links, backlinks, connecting you. It's a web for a reason. The websites all need to interconnect. So that's where your off page comes in. And technical SEO. So everyone jumped on a website and had the slowest loading photographs ever. What do?
Go to something else.
You skip. You go to the next person on the list who's got your product and you can actually see the information you need. So there's a lot of technical stuff behind the scenes where we can speed up websites and make sure that they are, again, optimized. So again, why do we need SEO? I think I've touched on a lot of that. We want to be visible, we want the website to be found. They're the top 2 that small business owners really want. You also actually want your people searching to be your ideal client. You don't want someone searching for videos for my business and it just comes up with a whole bunch of stuff that they go, oh, actually that's not really what I wanted, because now it's coming up with videos that relate to business planning. You're like, no, I want to actually make videos for your business. So you want to make sure those words are all the tweaking words that people are searching. Credibility. Who has a website right now? You people? Awesome. You've got website credibility. That's fantastic. Who's got a business card? Yep. Cool. We've got a few people. Who's got a Facebook page? Yep. A few people. Any other socials? Just general socials? YouTube channels,
Just out of
LinkedIn, all that
curiosity,
kind of stuff.
who has an Indeed for their business?
Couple of hands down. Again, this is all beginning to push to that on-page and off-page SEO stuff. So it all links and all intertwines. So it's good questions. Well done. I think that it really starts to open up your eyes when you find out what it is. And again, we're barely scratching the surface. So you've got to be found, you've got to be visible, it needs to be relevant. All those things weave, interact, and then the SERPs, those things that find you on the internet, make it really happy. And then if you can Google yourself and you come up with your website, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and then the photographs. Now, if you've ever noticed that photographs relate back to a lot of people's business, we have secret sauce in behind those as well. So much. Whose mind's already blown? Yeah, cool. Let's keep going. Credibility and trust. Are you going to buy of someone you know, like, and trust?
Yes.
Yep. If you don't really resonate with someone or their product, you're like, oh, I don't know if they're going to really actually be able to deliver for me. So this is a lot of that imagery, the wording. You need to resonate with your ideal client. Who wants to make more money? Come on, everybody's hands should go higher. Let's go. It's going to be up there. Don't lie to me, I can see you. All right, so if we're getting more of these qualified people to your website and they're relating to your message and they're loving your message and they're going, hey, yeah, that product's for me, or that product is really going to work for my company, or wherever I'm going to buy this, what do you think is going to happen? Your traffic's increasing, you're going to increase the leads, people are going to call, people are going to email. What's the other one? Call, book a call. Then I've got a book a call button on their website and they can have a video call.
Just a calendar.
Just a calendar. Beautiful. They can find you, they can connect with you. That's the main thing. I should have known that one, that's on our website too. So you get more leads, you do your beautiful sales pitch, and hey, what are you going to do? Convert, make yourself more money. You're going to have a glowing client going, we love your product, I'm going to go tell all my friends. They will jump on your website, same process, rinse and repeats. We love money. UX. Who's heard of UX when it comes to the internet? A couple of little ones. Yeah, cool. Ever been on your phone to have a look at a website? It looks beautiful on the desktop. You jump on the phone and the writing's this big. That's our last point here, responsive design. There's certain ways to build and develop a website that you will not get responsive design. And there's other ways that you've got to hit certain buttons in a certain order to get that response. Again, if you hit those tiny little words, are you going to stay on that site very long on your phone? Who knows the statistic of general searches on a phone versus a desktop nowadays, percentage-wise? Any guesses?
Mostly on your phone.
Yep.
I do everything on my phone. I hardly ever do anything on my laptop unless it's like, this is so difficult, I need my laptop. Yeah.
Which is again the responsive stuff, because it's so small or fiddly, or you try and do that drop down, and you're like, no, I don't want the 7 button, I want the 8 button. Yeah. So it's actually the 80-20 rule. So 80% of searches are done on your phone. Who thinks it's important to have a responsive website? 80% of searches, that's huge. Generalizing a little bit depending on your industry, but it's a good stat to roll with. So make sure your website
Just to
works.
add to that, do you have a clickable button on your phone? Make sure it's connected so people can push the call now or link straight through off their phone. So if that's not engaged, people go to that.
They'll go to the next customer for sure. Yeah. Perfect. Cost effectiveness. Who has had someone build their website for them? Yeah. Cool. Who's done it themselves? Cool. How much is your time worth in your area of expertise? How much would you charge per hour to, you don't have to really tell us, but to be an illustrator?
$1 billion.
$1 billion an hour. So when you sat there for 1 billion hours trying to build your website,
So expensive.
it was so expensive. So not trying to crush your hopes and dreams, sorry, Jared. It's just trying to point out, again, you're not going to go and start dry cleaning your shirts. If you know you can chuck them in the washing machine, it's done, press of a button, hour later you hang it out, it's done. You're not going to physically go out there and start getting the dry cleaning machinery to do it. You throw them off at the dry cleaning shop to get done because they're the experts, they're the professionals. So when it starts to come to things like your websites, first thing I'm going to outsource is my accounting and bookkeeping. suck at it, and I really don't enjoy doing it. It's not Nick's field of expertise, but he's busy doing builds and designs. So from that perspective, if anyone knows a really good bookkeeper, send them my way. Because I don't enjoy it, and again, my time on task, drinking coffee, talking to people like you is much more valuable than me doing my accounts. So just think about your business in those sort of pathways and directions when you're doing your online SEO, social media, that sort of thing. Traditional advertising. Has anyone driven down the road, seen those massive billboards? Tens of thousands of dollars. They stay up for 6 weeks and then they're ripped down and all their advertising funds are gone. So, okay, we're small business, we're not technically going to do that. But what's the alternative that a lot of small business often use for paid advertising? Social. Anyone done paid social ads before? Couple? Yeah. One. Cool. Unless you're really good at it. Someone over here who's probably really good at it. Expert in the field. Again, think about where you're investing your time and your money, because a lot of the paid traffic through social, we've spoken to some clients, it doesn't land anywhere. So you can have this beautiful Facebook ad going out for 6, 8, 10 weeks. It becomes more cost effective. You go, yeah, cool, $100 a day, I can afford that. But then you get in the clicks. Where are they going? Where is that user experience once they hit your landing page, your website? Where is the client going to the next step of your sales process? So if it's a call to action, does the button where you hit the phone number actually work? Because if you spent all that money generating your leads through Facebook, they get to that landing page, they love your message, they go, yes, I want to buy your product, and then that phone number doesn't link or connect anyway, you've lost the sale. So just think about where that lead and that pathway goes to get you to actually bring in your client. Again, back to making you money. Yeah. Any questions at this point? There's been a lot of info. Who's overwhelmed?
Yeah. Always, full time.
Full time.
24 hours in this week.
SEO takes time. It's not a quick fix overnight. But again, it's building you a long-term asset. We actually buy and sell websites as assets behind the scenes as well. So your website becomes an asset to your business. Somewhere down the track, you may wish to sell your product to someone else. You can actually talk to your business broker who's selling your business on your behalf, and you say, well, I've got this website. It's got really good SEO. It's got this much traffic, it brings this many leads, it converts this much, because all the analytics are coming through. And you can say, so my business is worth an extra $10,000, $50,000. One of our friends sold his website for $64 million. Let it that $64 million for a website.
Plus all the generated income that occurred every month for 12 years while he was doing the website. Yes.
Websites are an asset. Don't write them off. Don't let the domains expire. Age domains are a true thing. So if you are starting a business now and you've got a business idea, buy your domain name as soon as possible. Even if you park it, if it's parked, it's gaining age. It's like a fine wine. Cool, let's move on. User experience. So we're going this way. Analytics. This drives me into the analytics. Again, nerd out on the SEO keyword stuff, but I nerd out on the analytics as well. Who does have a website or even socials actually looks at their leads, their tracking, their organic searches versus direct. Does anyone look at that on a regular basis? Yes, gold star to everybody. That's impressive, well done. It's like looking at your accounts. You're meant to look at your profit and loss statements monthly. You're meant to look at all of that technical stuff there. Also look at the top end, look at your website, look at all your data. Do you remember this one? Data is?
Feedback.
Feedback. What do we do with feedback? We just take it on board, we learn from it, we grow, we develop, we establish a stronger business. We can then use that to leverage to either sell our business, to bring on business partners, to bring on co-working relationships with people. If you could say, I know I've got 100 qualified people coming to my website every month, do you want to partner with me? That's got data behind it. You get better quality leads and partners, and I know some of us are in that sort of referral market as well. So lots and lots of power in your analytics and knowing what you're looking at. What else we got there? We can look at your keyword rankings. Anyone ever read or written, here we go, make it harder, written a blog post for their website or for their social? Yep. Do you know how much traffic was driven back towards that?
Probably not, but I did because I liked it.
And it was fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to write about what you're really good at. And again, you can just, I find sometimes I just churn things out. And it's like, wow, where did that come from? That was cool. I read it back and I go, okay, let's refine that. That could be 3 articles instead of 1. So it's good fun, but it comes back to the keywords. So we used all our nerdy tools at the beginning to find your optimal keywords. And then we start to throw in the magical words strategically through those articles that the little Google bots are going to go, oh, people are searching that term. We like this article because it's written by a human being, not an AI tool. Does everyone understand where I'm going with that? Don't use ChatGPT to write your articles. Use them for headlines, use them for the foundation structure of your articles, but pure AI written content is not going to work. He's shaking his head. People want connection with people. Your website, your online presence is just about bringing you to come in front of your people that you're going to sell to. So you still need to be that human being, and the bots know. We have tools that we run articles through, particularly when we're buying assets, other websites. We can run the article through and go, this is all AI generated. This hasn't had a human being behind it, so it's not going to rank as well in the keyword rankings long term. You'll get some quick wins. It's good for the quick articles, but again, don't leave it on your website. It's not going to give you that longevity, long-term asset. So, bit of technical detail in there. But again, good articles are going to convert. You're going to get more traffic to that article. People are going to go, hey, this stuff's really cool. Next article comes out, the bots go, hey, when that article was written last, we got lots of traffic. This person knows what they're talking about. They've got some authority in their field of expertise. So let's now bring up their next article with all their magic keywords and so forth, drive them more traffic onto the page one of Google. It's now one big scroll. But it will then in turn make them click on your next article. They read your content, they go, hey, this stuff's cool. They then go, oh, that article about the next topic is really interesting. I didn't know Jerry did illustration. She said, for more information about my illustration stuff, click here. There's those blue backlinks. You ever seen the blue links in the middle of an article? Absolute gold for SEO. Amazing how many people don't use them. But you jump on that link, it'll take you to another section, links, into your website. You're staying on someone's website longer, which means the bots are going, again, this person has authority, they know what they're talking about. They're interesting, people want to read what they're writing about. So it leaves them on the page, which will take me to the next slide. Which is, oh, it got cut off, I was doing so well. Which is one of our real clients. This is a snippet from some of their analytics. And this will show us lots and lots of detail. Is everyone going, whoa, too much?
I don't understand.
Perfect. That's why we send this to you and you go, I don't understand. We'll sit down, have a chat with our clients and talk through it. So we launched this site back in December 2023. And we launched it, who can tell when we launched it? Was it the start of the month, mid-month, end of the month? About the middle of the month, just after?
Technically it was the 17th.
Yeah, that's right. You're closest. That's perfect. So again, we've installed Google Analytics onto their website. So now we're getting data. What is data? Feedback. So we're seeing they've got 104 users in the rest of that month. Then we go, how long are they staying on this website for? 33 seconds. Okay, it's not terrible. Bounce rate is 2 seconds. You jump on a site, it's that tiny little writing, you go, I don't know what I'm looking at, this isn't what I searched for. Bounce off is 2 seconds. So 33 seconds isn't bad, that's actually actually pretty good. Direct versus organic. This is a really interesting one for this particular website. Nick can reach that. Direct is over here. You can see there's a nice big blue bar there. So direct traffic means that your mum's jumping on your website and going, "Hey, in website design, what are you up to? Hey, Kim, what are you doing? Thanks, Mum. Thanks for visiting my website 103 times this month. I really want some organic traffic because the bots like the organic." So organic is directly underneath that.
So should Mum be Googling me first and then click on the Google link?
What's
Or
the
should
right way? It's easier.
or should Mum type in their actual address?
It's better if she Googles you.
Okay, cool. I'll let her know.
Yeah. Thanks, Mum. And again, she's reading your articles,
Right.
which you, long story, but you post them on your social.
Yeah.
You post a snippet on your social and you drive the traffic to your website.
Yeah.
So Mum's not technically going to your website directly. She's going through an article on your social that then goes organically to your website. So this is where number 2.
So is that to do with popularity? Like because more people are doing it, more like that page will be more popular? Yeah.
So it brings it up in the rankings.
Right.
So again, you know if you're on page 57,
Yeah.
no one's ever going to find you down there. And if you're on page 1, which, yeah, it's now all a slider, I still call it pages.
Yeah.
But if you're in the first scroll, underneath those sponsored posts, ignore the sponsored stuff. Again, remember that's that paid traffic. Ignore that. Nobody ever clicks on them, or very few people click on them, because they know it's sponsored. It's not necessarily the best thing you're looking for. You want to be underneath that. So that's where we ultimately aim to get you with SEO organic search. And that's where you want to be. That's where all the gold sits. Yeah. So this particular website, it's an Australian-based organisation. It is actually a .com email address. Who knows the difference between the .com.au? Yeah.
Just .au is specific to Australian businesses.
Perfect. You as a local business, do you want to be a .com or a .com.au? Yes. Gold stars all the way over here. Come team. So you want to be found locally. Why is it important to be found locally? Where are your clients? Local. Again, some of us can go online. KN website design is a .com. We have clients in America. This particular client is based out in outback Queensland. We also have another client in Perth. So we have that opportunity. So online, if you're an online particular service, .com is great. .com.au is more like your hair salon or your shop front style that you want them to come in and book massage. You want the .com.au. Make sense? Yeah.
Just quickly, to have a .au, you have to be an AU. So if you don't have, if you're not up to that point, you can't register yourself an AU.
But getting a ABN number is super easy. $100. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dean. It's about $100 each.
It's less than that actually.
Less than that?
68 or something.
Yeah. So again, it's totally worth registering so that you can get that .com.au. Yeah. Good tip. Our next one is 3 months later. We've had this website live for 3 months, and it's now March 2024. So Christmas period, you would think would go down a little bit, but again, look at our beautiful squiggly blue line. Very exciting to see those results coming out. We nerd out. We have to tell the clients how exciting this stuff is. SEO takes time. Most of our websites that we build from scratch, what are we at? 50, 60, 108. They just slowly chug along. So the fact that this has already jumped to 839 users, amazing. The engagement rate, who can tell me what's happened to people reading articles? They're staying on there longer. What does that mean for the Google bots thinking about our website? The bots are happy. They're going, this stuff's cool. People want to read this content. It doesn't sound like much, but in the 3-second world that we live in nowadays, that's massive. And what's happened with organic and direct? With that big bar at the top. It's flip-flopped. So organic searches means that the people that are in a page aren't just going back there going, hey, business.com. They're actually going, hey, I want to look for this particular item that then comes up in this business. And they go, yeah, that's what I'm after. Click, stay on it for 44 seconds. So super exciting stuff there. And again, organic is now much bigger on the bar as well because of the nature of that 839 people. And drum roll, I wasn't going to put this in because again, SEO takes time. So this is magical and we're very excited. So it does happen. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh my god!
Wow.
Check that out. 1,700 people went to this website the next month. That's cool.
2 months.
It's been live since December. So
Wow.
yeah,
So
phenomenal.
this is just April's. So this is from
1
the
month
1st of
later.
April to the 30th of April.
Yeah, which is crazy good. Again, it is a very large website. It's 46 pages. Most small businesses wouldn't have that many pages. We would recommend about 5 to start with. And again, cost effectiveness for 5 pages. It's an outlay when you're starting a small business. But this is the sort of information we can get from analytics. And this is the sort of data that you start to see 1.7 thousand people using your website. Those people are coming organically and they're staying on the page for 57 seconds. So again, it's increasing. They're liking the content that's on there, they're engaged, they're not jumping off straight away. There's very few backlinks on this particular website. It's not the way their business is designed to link through. They want people to see that page of data. So for what the business actually want, it's doing exactly what it should. So we have very happy clients. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this month's stats too. Cool. One of the ones I want to point out is Australia. We want Australian stats, even though this is a .com, this is still ultimately an Australian business. So good to see the US is in there. US is again a first world country. And you're looking at Canada, Singapore, Sweden, UK and Ireland. So you're looking at a lot of those really, like I say, as first world countries. Can we flip back to the very first one? Is that possible? Sorry. All right, we're seeing Germany in there. We're seeing Bulgaria. We're seeing India. We're seeing Ireland is still in there. So again, if you're a local business, you probably don't want to see India. That's generally a lot of spam. There's a lot of bots and things behind the scenes doing scraping and things like that. So with SEO, we have a lot of security, firewalls, things like that we keep updated on your websites with ongoing SEO strategy. Again, gets a bit technical, gets a bit deep down in there, but websites need constant nurturing to keep them up to date. You know, with your mobile phone, how it's constantly asking you to do that update at 2 a.m. in the morning. Your website does that behind the scenes as well. So we're constantly updating plugins, Nick does all of that stuff. I just tell people about it. So analytics are cool. I'll move on because I will stay there all day. Common SEO challenges. Who is terrified of SEO and websites and all that technical stuff when you're really good at what you already do? Hey, look at that. No one's terrified anymore. Wow.
That's fine.
Perfect. Stay that way. Just engage someone who can do it. It's a whole lot easier. Your time, again, this comes back to how much you worth in your core business. Your knowledge and budgets, things like that, all come into play when you're building up your business. Lots of noise from industry experts. Because we do what we do now, I'm on Facebook trying to engage people on Facebook. The amount of SEO rubbish that is coming through that paid sponsorship to me is driving me mental. And they're using the fear tactics. It's don't be afraid of it and don't think they have to use one of these massive organisations to get it happening. It's terrifying. The noise, it's annoying. Because all you want to do is have a quick chat with your friend and see what they had for lunch yesterday, right? Reliance on social campaigns. It has its place. Like, do not rule out social campaigns. They're really, really good. I use them in my past life, in my past business really effectively. Again, with our current industry, I think there's a lot of noise, a lot of traffic, a lot of misled, guided knowledge that just takes people down a rabbit hole. So when you get to the point of wanting to do paid social, talk to an expert that you trust, you know, like and trust. and make sure you get the right advice on that before you start throwing hundreds of dollars at it. Yeah. Does that make sense? Is that the right way to take that message? Yeah. Poor optimized websites, again, we've gone through all that stuff, the tiny words, the can't find the phone number button. Established brands. Who are you competing against with your business? Because you know what, they probably don't have an SEO specialist on their side. We can look at some of these big companies and go, not optimized, they can fix that. Where's my call to action button? We just nerd out on other people's websites now, including the big brands. They're not necessarily doing it well. So you can actually outrank some of the big companies that might be your competition, which is, again, really cool. Because everybody's now on the same playing field. You don't need the $10,000 billboard down in the middle of the valley or on the highway back out to Ipswich. You can actually do this stuff online for a fraction of the cost. So it's really cool. And finally, the algorithms and the updates. If you talk to anybody that had online traffic going through their website way back in October, November last year, Google went in and decided to change a whole lot of the ways that websites were being read. So from that side, people that were doing a lot of AI content, not necessarily delivering the right message, and Amazon affiliate type MLM marketing, a lot of that, it does work. However, if they're doing it badly and the bots didn't like it, they dropped. So they lost all of their rankings and they got really cranky because, you know, Google are just making their jobs hard. But if they haven't done the right SEO from the beginning, that's where they've been dropped in the rankings. So the updates are happening all the time because Google wants to be seen in the search person's eyes as bringing up the best content, which is where the content on your websites will be the best, bringing you up to be found by your client first. Question time. Search engine optimization. Whose brain is cooked? Who has a little bit of a more of an understanding of SEO? Just a tiny little bit. Cool. Who thinks they can implement something in their own business and would be happy to share what that would be to make their SEO better? Think about it. Can you find your phone number on your website? In your brain, I'm getting a couple of nods. Not quite, almost. It will be there.
It will be there.
It will be there. Might be doing a build for John at the moment, so it's going to look amazing. And it's got an SEO. That's the core ingredient. Who has a heading on their homepage that tells the client what they actually do? So our heading on our website is actually on the back of our banner. So again, it's this brand consistency. Your trusted local SEO and digital marketing agency. Who knows what we do from that little message? Yeah.
It's clear.
It makes sense. And then you end up calling me and then I talk your ear off for 4 hours and you go, okay, yes, you can help me. If you stop talking, you can help me. So you need your message to come across that quickly. So that's where SEO comes in, to have the bots read that information as well. The bots actually read down the page. So again, if you don't have that optimized headline on your page, they're going to just skip over it. People love dot points. Have you ever read an article with just the dot points? I don't read articles, sorry. I scan them and I read the dot points. So again, if you're writing articles, think about what are my key messages here, dot points. Break it down with headlines. If you are building your own page at the back of the scenes, the little H1 and the H2 so that you can see in a lot of your features, super important. Use them.
Quick question. So does Google favour websites before like the LinkedIn article or Reddit article or is it depends? Depends. Yeah. Should we spend more energy? I guess what I'm trying to say, should we spend more energy on building blog articles on our website, or should we spend more energy doing a LinkedIn newsletter, or like our YouTube videos, or like our Instagram reels?
See LinkedIn, Facebook, social media as a tool. So essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to get off the social media onto your website.
Yeah.
So if you have the blog post on your website and just give them a little bit of a teaser or some sort of snippet of the article, and then have the link back to your website,
That's the most
That's-
ideal
that's
way.
the ideal.
Yeah. So even the LinkedIn should just go back to the website.
Yeah,
The
because-
the article should go back to the website.
because again, then people go, oh yeah, Jerry, oh, yeah, I remember this from last time. Or then, as Kim said, you'll hit that link to another article or about you. Or,
So that's the hope.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're trying to push people to your website so then they learn about you rather than going, oh yeah, that was nice, and scroll to the next
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So
Have
keep
you
it
ever
up.
tried to go back and find your own article on Facebook or LinkedIn?
Oh, it's really hard.
It's really hard. If you have it on a website, you actually, because you're renting your domain and you're renting your hosting space, where you park your article on your website, one, it's easier to find, but two, you own that little bit of real estate on the internet.
Yeah.
Who owns Facebook?
Mark
Zuckerberg owns Facebook.
Yeah.
If he gets cranky and wants more money to throw into Tesla tomorrow because he's building another lithium battery for something else,
Yeah.
he could shut down Facebook
Yeah.
tomorrow. All your content, all your hard work is actually gone. So if you park it on your website, and then as Nick said, lead the traffic to web itself
Yeah.
throughout that direction, you will always find that article and your clients will always find that article because you keyword research.
So there's a longevity of it that
Again, it's, and people go, oh, they're not going to close down Facebook or any of it. America's closed down TikTok. So
Who knows?
what will happen.
But then the
And
next
people-
best thing comes along as well. I mean, there's Insta. A lot of that younger generation are using Instagram. And to find an article, I struggle to use Instagram. So think about where your target client actually hang out as well. So, and you can recycle as much as you want to on your socials because the bots don't get upset on duplicate content. If you're putting your article on your website and then you guest blog onto my website, but you just give me the same article, the smart little bots will find out and they'll be like, no, this article is just a duplicate. Somebody's stolen this, and that's where AI content is just pulling from everybody else's content already on the internet. So this is where you write something unique, and then you've done that again, and again, and again. It's that J curve. You keep doing this, and you're like, I am working my tail off. How many more blogs do I have to do until I get here? And then you go, oh, look at my traffic. Oh, I've got 57 views on my page now. And then it just starts to J curve. So it's very much how the bots go, yeah, this stuff's good. And it's consistency. You would know that with your LinkedIn, with your socials and that sort of thing. If you're inconsistent, you can post once a month. That's consistency. So try not to overcommit yourself to writing too many blogs initially. Start small, start now is one of my favourite quotes from an RV traveller of all people. Again, you want to go out and you want to live in your RV full time, get out in whatever you can, be it a tent, be it a car, live in your caravan, live in your 45-foot horse float trailer with bells and whistles and all that, but start small, start now. Question?
How often the Google index your website?
It's hard to tell.
Pardon?
It's hard to tell.
Usually it'll start within the first 2 weeks of you allowing it to be indexed, but then it's usually updated anywhere between every 10 days to every 30 days. So it varies.
Depends how much content you're continuing to put on it as well.
And how much traffic it's actually, if it notices there's a sharp spike in traffic, it will go, okay, something's changed. We'll go to it. But yeah, it's between 10 and 30 days that you'll get some sort of, you can increase it through Google Console. You can actually ask for re-indexing if you know you've made changes. Though you can only do that so many times in a X amount, in a month or 2 months or something. There's a set time. You can ask for it to be re-indexed if that's what you need it to be done.
And if you don't know what indexing is, it's when you ask the little bots to crawl across all the words and go, hey, is my site any good? And then that's where it goes, oh, actually, you're ranking better now. Yeah. I like to simplify stuff. Cool. Any other questions? Yep. Yeah.
share, but what industry was those analytics from? Can you say again?
Up to you. You know the client better than I do.
It was an agricultural show.
Okay. Well, rural, I suppose, so that makes sense. I did have another one. There was a push a few months back. I think we're still transitioning to just using the .au instead of the .com.au. Is that still kind of a thing, or is it? I just haven't heard much of it.
We've got one client who accidentally bought the .com.
Yeah.
He's an electrician, we highly encourage him to buy the .com.au as well, because of the nature of his business. And then we've just set up a redirect. So both of those .com.au are talking to each other. So in the event someone accidentally types in his old email address or he's got a flyer out there that still has the .com. So I guess it depends on your industry, and you can monopolise the market. You've got another client that has every single whatever he can possibly get his hands on. So he's got .org, .in, .uk. He's got everything. He's an Australian local business, but he has this big dream to be a multi-billion, squillion franchise.
He's also done it for security. He goes, it's $20 worth of insurance. So a domain name costs you about $20 Australian. And he's gone, well, no one can emulate me if I have every single domain name I can get. That's the other reason. Yeah, he is looking to expand into other areas.
And he's a high net worth as well. His industry, he could easily get sued tomorrow.
Right.
High net worth, but again, high risk. So again, you've got to sort of gauge it, judge it. Trademarking sort of falls in that sort of realm of going, well, where are you, what do you do? Obviously not our area of expertise, but it's something we're looking at the moment, going, do we need this?
Yeah.
Just also, I think a lot of people it's becoming very trendy to have a .Melbourne or a .Brisbane or something and instead of having the traditional .com.au, they're doing .ai or something like that. Don't rush down that path. It's not well SEO for an SEO standpoint. Google prefers the traditional. It knows what it is. If it starts going .Melbourne, it goes, well, you're in Brisbane, so why do you use? It really limits what you do. So just stick with the traditional ways. I know it sounds old and weird, but it works a lot better than throwing weird.
And until industry standards change, and I mean that's why we love our industry so much, is that we're never going to get bored because the bots are always changing things. Like we're right on top of it. Again, we hang out with some very, very experienced web developers and people who have been in the industry since 2000. So they've seen that whole website internet evolution. So we just pick their brains. It's fantastic because they give us all the information. They're not threatened by us because the amount of websites and small business and opportunity out there, there's an abundance. So they just give us so much knowledge. And yeah, we're always aligned, getting industry magazines and like you would in your own industry, I guess. So know your people and ask them questions because they're a wealth of knowledge that then you don't have to go research stuff. Well, thank you. We've got one more slide. Cool. Ta-da! All right, we have, I'm going to throw some that way. We have some little free gifts for everybody. Okay, take one anyway. We normally offer out a free 15-minute chat to have a look at your website and give you some SEO tips that personalise to you and your goals, because again, it's that keyword research, it's that real finding out what you do and how you do it. So what we want to do, anybody that's in the small business meetup, you guys, is if you jump over, have a chat with us, we book in the calendar today, or you can QR code to get to our calendar. We'll actually give you a full hour and a half. We'll pull up some of our paid tools and talk about your industry and how those keywords that you're potentially using in your socials and your marketing and on your websites are actually ranking, so that if you're a life coach and you're getting 4,600 views a month, it's messing with me, versus a confidence coach that's only getting 220. What are you going to put on your website as that top keyword? You're going to put on the 4,600 searches. So we've got a client right now who does confidence coaching that calls herself a life coach wasn't going to use the word life coach. And it's like you're getting 4,600 searches a month versus a potential 220 clients. We talked about her messaging, her branding, where she wanted her business to actually go. And she's like, oh no, I'll use life coach every day of the week. I'm like, well, why don't you go on your website? Because I didn't know what I didn't know. Yes, that's a win. So going in depth into that, 15 minutes never, half hour, never gives us enough time to actually dig that deep. So please take the opportunity, no commitment, we're not going to force you to buy a website or SEO or any of that stuff. We want to help small business and to understand this stuff. So scan it, grab a message, grab us at the end, whatever, but you guys get the hour and a half.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.